Hello, this is an explanation of the new glitch used in Simpsons hit and run 100% speedruns. There's a lot going on here, and I'm going to do my best to explain it. I've been trying to do post commentary for ages, and I have decided that I am much better at talking live than I am with post commentary. So I'm going to be doing that instead. Right, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about is what is the new coin glitch? Well, the glitch is called instant coin deposit. Instant coin deposit essentially makes it so then you don't have to pick up coins anymore. As soon as a coin spawns, you are immediately given it. And there's a lot going on with it. There's area loading, deloading. There's a big glitch with an out of bounds coin, and there's instant coin deposit itself is pretty hard to wrap your head around. But I'll do my best to explain it to you all. So the first thing we want to do is we want to deload this area back here. This area, not the crusty area, but the area that goes like up and around and all that stuff. And then like it goes around here and then goes around there and stuff like that. It's not very good drawing, but you get the point. Specifically why we want to deload this area is there's a void plane where the water is. This is the area where you finish Clueless and you kick Millhouse down the cliff, just to make it a bit clearer. So there's like two bodies of water, and then there's the bridge itself that takes you across. Now, these bodies of water have what is called void planes, where if your character walks into the void plane, they will be warped back to the road or a nearby platform, basically a nearby inbounds location. And this is intended to stop you from going out of bounds. So this whole area is a void plane. But the benefit of void planes is if you can somehow get past them, if you are somehow able to go from, like, let's say the void plane is like this, which is probably pretty accurate. But if you're able to go from like here and magically jump over the void plane, you'll go out of bounds. And the reason why that's important is because most of the out of bounds prevention in this game is done by like walls. So here is a solid wall. This is a solid wall. This is a solid wall. All along here is a solid wall. But quite often, void planes don't have solid walls behind them because the developers are like, hey, you're not going to get past this void plane. It's pretty bloody big. But if you can get past it, then you're out of bounds. And the reason why we're going to go out of bounds is because we want to get to 0, 0, 0, because that's where the glitch occurs. So that's the first goal of this glitch. So we're going to, first off, get in the car, and we're going to deload the area by loading a different area and then skipping over a load trigger. So, just still learning this new program I'm using. The load trigger for this area back here, which is like where the casino is, that's where it is. This load trigger exists like about here. So if we can get the car to touch that, then we will have loaded the casino area back here. And that's really easy to do because all we have to do is drive up and then tip the car over the edge and it's worked. Like that area is now loaded. Nice pixelation. Let me just see if I can get a better one. There we go. So now there is a second load zone, which is roughly this entire... Well, actually, no, I won't say this entire. I think it's roughly about this area, which loads the area where we want to be unloaded, the Springfield sign area where the bridge is and the out of bounds occurs. Luckily, what we can do, I'm going to leave that there for reference, is if we reset our car, which is a function of the game where it just puts you to the nearest road, we can skip over this trigger and not actually have a touch it. So if the trigger is here, but we reset our car here, it will teleport us here without ever actually touching that load zone. problem with this is if you look at the mini map, we are close to a couple of roads. There's this road here, and then this road here. This road is the goal. I'm gonna put that in green. Just actually, no, green's not gonna look very good. Whatever, it's fine. So that one is the goal. This is the one we want right here. But if we reset too early, we'll end up on this one. So we have a bit of a balancing act where we want to reset late enough to end up on the road, but not too late where it's to go in this loading zone. Luckily, there's a very small window. It's pretty easy to get once you get the visual cues. I use this window as a visual cue. You'll see that, like, when I approach this window, I hit the reset key. And then we are loaded on, we are on the road where we want to be without ever loading the area. Now, so the next order of business is to, I pushed the wrong button, is now we drive to the area where we just unloaded. So we're going to go around this way in the speedrun. For reasons that will be apparent later, we actually go in here, grab the Wasp. I don't know how to draw a Wasp camera. I don't know what that is, but we buzz. There you go. Now you know. But we get the Wasp camera, and then we come back out, get back in our car, and then continue driving on. So, but in this demonstration, I'm not doing that because it's not necessary with how I've done this. Now, so a bit of a quirk about unloaded areas is that they don't actually remember your height, or they don't actually give you a new height coordinate when you are on the area. It just remembers your last height coordinate, if that makes sense. So my last height coordinate in this circumstance, I'm just trying to get it to be look a little nicer, but it's kind of hard, is this little platform back here. And normally when this area is loaded, which is like, I don't know, down here and stuff like that, it's more like this. It's down this low. Like this is how low it is. So we're really, really high up at the moment compared to how it should be. And that is because it's like, hey, this is the last road you're on, which means this is how high you are. So we can drive much higher above where the game expects us to drive. And that's important because the void plane is goes pretty low. Sorry, the void plane is basically on par with the road. So we don't want to touch that void plane because otherwise the trick won't work. So we're up really, really high. The water is like, I don't know, down here somewhere. And we're up much higher. Actually, it's probably more like down here, to be honest. This is where the water is, and the water represents the void plane. But the other thing we've got to look out for here is there's actually a load zone just... It's like probably about here on the minimap. And this load zone extends like all the way up, and it goes really far down. But the wall that we're trying to get around, so there's a invisible wall. Let me use the map again for a reference. There's like an invisible wall that goes around the map. It ends just before the load zone, and we can squeeze our car through here barely without touching the load zone. So it's a miracle that all lines up. But that's what we're going to be doing here. So you can see I'm basically hugging the wall. Now, this is going to look a little weird. So another occurrence of being really high and out of bounds, or doing an unloaded out of bounds, is that, especially with being like high up, is what will happen is your car will start bouncing. So you can kind of see the car is bouncing up and down. And I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but it just occurs occasionally. And this can be bad, but there's like a road that's like, where is my little thingy? There's like a road here on the minimap. And if we reset too early, we'll end up going to that road. And that's really bad. Like that's like the worst possible scenario, because we have to do this entire setup again then. The idea is we want to reset our car and end up here. And up here is where Android's dungeon is, which is where 000 is on the coordinates. luckily, if you have enough speed and you like, so if we're coming out from like, if the path is like something like this, no, that's not a very good drawing. If the path is like something like this, let's just say that's the path, and this is where the bridge is, and then this is where the water is and stuff like that, and we drive out like here. If we sharp turn our car here, the load zone, by the way, for the bridge ends about there. So once we're past the load zone, we can sharp turn. And if we keep close to this road here, like as long as we're close to it, the car will bounce later. So then we end up here and we bounce, like let's say it bounces here, but we have enough speed to be able to just keep nudging forward and end up just within the range to be able to reset our car and end up here. So I know it's a lot of information and it's kind of hard to explain, but it all makes sense, I promise. And I promise this is all amounting to something. Okay, so now we're here. This is where the Android Sungeon is. Android Sungeon's like here. This is where the Noiseland Arcade is, I think. This is down where this is the Wally Weasels gag right here. So we're in the area we need to be. But the reason why we need to unload it is because where we reset our car to is it's 0 on the high, 0 on the on the X and Z coordinates, but the Y coordinate, which is our height, is like 10 units too high. So this whole area, I should say this, 0, 0 is roughly here. So we're pretty close to it at the moment, but we're like 10 units too high. And we need to be at like maximum Y2 for this to work. So luckily, there's this road over here, which is about 2 or 3 on the Y coordinate. So we can just reset our car, drive down here, reset our car. There is a load zone here, which is bad if we touch it, but it's easy to avoid. We can just drive around here, reset our car, and then we'll have this done. But we're not quite out of the woods on that yet. So what we need for this glitch to work is we need a wasp to follow us. Luckily, there is like a wasp up here and a wasp up here. Buzz. There you go, now you know. So yeah, there's like 2 wasps. Now, this wasp here will never follow us. It has never followed us for everyone who has tested. This one almost always does, and it depends on the wasps that you've picked up prior, which is why I mentioned in the speedrun, we pick up the wasp in Studio A, right in here. And that makes these wasps follow you for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. So picking that up makes these wasps follow you, which is very, very important. So you're going to see me here spawn 1 wasp and 2 wasps eventually. There we go. So there they are. Those are where the wasps are. Let me just get rid of these. So to just confirm what I was saying before, this one follows, this one will not. And this is one of the 3 RNG elements to this. So this wasp has 2 modes. It's either got fast wasp or slow wasp. So I believe in this circumstance, I got slow wasp. Fast wasp, it'll just follow you immediately. It goes very quickly. It saves like 15 seconds or something. But because I got slow wasp, I will need to adjust myself to be able to make him fast, because the way the wasps follow you, you can kind of see he's moving very, very slowly towards me. But if the wasp gets within a certain it's within a couple units of you, it'll start being like, oh shit, I'm gonna get killed, I need to dodge and evade and stuff. So I'm gonna jump at it and then jump back in my car, and then you'll see it will start following me. Now I can start getting to 0, 0, 0. After all of that, I can actually start to do the glitch itself. So, I'm now resetting my car, and my Y coordinate is now 0. And this wasp is following me, and it'll be obvious as to why in a minute. But basically, right about here, I think. We're probably going a little bit too far. Yeah, okay. So, I am essentially on the exact coordinate that I need to be. It's 0, 0, 6 at the moment. So, why is this coordinate important? When a coin spawns, so you have, let's use a box as an example. What color do we want to make the box? Let's make the box pink. So you have like a box. This is like a crusty loot box. You know, I'll draw the Buzz Cola coin, you know. This is like a box. And when a box is kicked or destroyed or whatever, what happens is a bunch of coins spawn out. Like for a box, it's 31 coins, but the number's not important at the moment. So a bunch of coins will spawn out. They'll then land on the ground. And if you're in a car, it'll then immediately teleport to the player. And then after that, it'll go to your total coin count. So it's a bit of a long process. It's like a second long process. It's like maybe 2 seconds. I'm not sure of the number. Now, during the time between so after it goes to your character and before it's actually properly deposited into the total coin count up here, the developers needed to put the coin somewhere on the map so then it could draw from that location. And that somewhere happens to be right here. So this looks like a fucking preschool drawing. So let me there we go. Oh, I want the box back. Hang on a second. I need the box back. That was there we go. So yeah, you kick or break the box. It'll put the coin on the ground, teleport to your character, and then teleport to the total coin count. And then during this, I need green. This process right here. So if we're going by steps, it's step 1, 2, and then 3. So during nice 3. During step 3, the coin needs to go somewhere, and that somewhere happens to be at 006 on the map. It's the same place on every single map. Now, this coin has a few interesting properties. So if this is where it gets a bit complicated. I might have to chop this down or something, or just upload it raw. I'm not sure. So to reiterate, this coin is this step right here. It exists only in the interim from here to here. After you have picked up your last coin, it's gone. It disappears again. So what we need to do is we need to like draw this wasp over to shoot us, because what it will do is it'll shoot us and we will drop coins. The interesting thing about this little, I'm going to call it a glitched coin for ease, is that it exists and is pick-upable in the world. So you can actually physically pick up this coin. And not only can you physically pick up this coin, it has a interesting property where you can repeatedly pick it up equal to the number of active coins on the map at the current time. So let me just play the video and then I'll show you what I mean. Oh, hang on a second. Let me get rid of this trash on the screen. There we go. So I'm going to get shot and then, no, don't do this VLC. No. So you'll see that just to the left of the car It's going to be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to just try and frame advance. There. So, where is it? Where's my funny drawing tool? This coin right here is going to repeatedly flicker in and out. Right there. There's one. There's another. And then we just can keep picking up coins. Over and over again. Until eventually it stops. And as I said before, that the amount that it gives us is I think it's either 56 or 63, I'm not sure, but it's equal to the number of the number of coins currently active on the map. So, the game puts a bunch of coins out on the map. There's like probably some sitting along the edges of this. There's a few that are around the lighthouse down here. There's a lot in Krusty There's just like heaps in Krusty. That's the number of active coins on the map, plus whatever the Wasp just shot at us. So we got like 63 just then. But the funny thing that occurs is when you pick up the number of coins that are equal to the max number of coins on the map, sorry, the current active coins on the map, I should say, the rendering breaks. And the rendering is very interesting as to why it breaks. It's very, very strange. But coins still exist when rendering breaks. They just don't show up. So you'll see that I'm going to get out and get back in. And I'm going to get a shot. And coins, like, spit out. You can see I picked them up. So the ones I just picked up here are the ones that Wasp shot at me. The ones that I picked up here are is an unrendered version of the coin that goes of the coins when they go up here. So it's this is where it gets pretty complicated. But the coin still exists if we get shot by a Wasp and we shoot out a shitload of coins, specifically 15 from this Wasp. So this will happen 3 times. It will happen before the coins stop rendering, which will give us about 60. It'll happen another time, 4 times, not 3 times. It'll happen another time immediately afterwards, which will give us another 60. And it's going to happen 2 more times, and it's going to give us 100 and then 180. So during this setup, we get about 400 coins pretty consistently every time. But you might be wondering, if the active coin count isn't changing, like the only thing that's changing about the active coin count is the Wasp shooting me. But I pick up 15 coins. Sorry, I lose 15 coins, which adds plus 15. That's not a 5, which adds plus 15 to the active coin count. But then I pick them up, which removes 15 from the active coin count. So why does it go up to 100 and then 150? And the reason is because when coins are unrendered, so let's say, imagine this is an unrendered coin, and we have, just for an easy number, 50 active coins. When coins are unrendered, and you spawn coins, it will go up by 1, but if you pick up this particular coin right here, it will not remove it by 1. So this particular step here just gets skipped. So every time we shoot the Wasp, if we start at 50, every time we get shot by the Wasp, not shoot the Wasp, we can't shoot the Wasp, it's not Grand Theft Auto, it goes up by 15, and then up by 15 again, and then again, and repeatedly. So we get to get this coin at an increased amount each time. I don't know why it happens at these 2 intervals. It's pretty consistent it happens at these 2 intervals. That part I'm not really familiar with. But it happens every single time. So that's really important. And you'll see as I play the video, it's going to kind of make sense. So let me fucking get rid of everything. And the reason I'm getting in and out of the car is because if the coins sit on the ground too long, it resets the active coin counter to be what it's meant to be. So yeah, right here, I get a huge increase in coins. I think my headphones just turned off. So we got a pretty big increase in coins there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting shot by this wasp repeatedly. I think we're going to get another increase in coins coming up right here. Oh, and that was the RNG that I need to talk about. So this is RNG part 2 of this. So this wasp, on average, will shoot you every time it comes back down except for one. Sometimes it can happen twice, sometimes it can happen 3 times. It's pure luck. Basically, no, crap. So basically, the wasp will go down, it'll shoot us, so pew, 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 and then go back up as it's shooting us. So if the wasp goes up and hasn't finished the shooting animation, it has to come back down before it can do the shooting animation again. So you have Mr. Wasp. He comes down, charged, ready to shoot. He starts moving back up. As he's moving back up, he goes pew pew, and then if he hits his peak, say this is his peak, he'll shoot another one. Oh, sorry, he'll start heading back down and shoot another one, which means he has to continue heading back down, head all the way back up, and then head back down again before he can go another pew pew pew. The ideal situation is he doesn't hit, he goes pew pew pew, then hits his peak, then comes back down and is able to go pew 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 again. I know that was a very scuffed explanation of wasps, sorry. But that's the second part of RNG. I think each time it happens, it loses like 8 seconds, so it's not that bad. So it happened here once. So at any moment now, I'm probably going to get another massive coin increase. So there it is. So I went from 7,100 to like, there you go. That's like 100. That's like 120 right there. And now we're kind of approaching the end of the glitch. Well, the end of setting up the glitch, I should say. So how we know we've got the glitch is we need to reach, so the game has a hard-coded limit of 200. That's a weird 2. That's also my thing. Whoops. It has a hard-coded limit of 200 coins. If the amount of coins is greater than that of 200, the amount of active coins, sorry. If the amount of active coins is greater than 200, the game will instantly deposit the coins, skipping. So if I draw the box again, it'll like, sorry, drawing the box again, going back to this stupid bloody box. It spits out the coin, then goes on the ground, then goes to the character, and then, no, don't know why I drew that line, and then goes in here. If the amount of active coins is greater than 200, that whole process is skipped, and you just get plus 200. Like, oh, sorry, you get plus 200. Yeah, exactly. Or plus however many active coins there are on the map. Now, because we're breaking the rendering and the active coin count never decreases as long as we do the setup right, this means we can have this be permanently a part of the level until we leave the level or close the game, basically. So, how we know that we've actually got the glitch is when we get shot by the wasp, the coins will stop going down. So you can already see it's kind of occurring. We've only lost 9 there. And then with this shot, we lose nothing. I don't know why I did it a second time. I already knew I lost nothing. And then we can mission warp away. And, you know, as we get into coin grind, you'll see that I kick the boxes, no coins are spawned, and I am getting the coins immediately. Ignore those 2 coins, that happens because the level warps and has to reset the amount. So just show it again. You go kick, 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 and the coins are instantly depositing. So previously, we would do this, but after the last kick, which is this box, You would run around, pick up coins, pick up coins, pick up coins. And the amount of coins you would pick up is inconsistent because the coins spawn like this corner, or this corner, or this corner, or this corner. They weren't really worth picking up because, you know, ideally you like take a path that's something like, I don't know, like this or something. So you wouldn't actually get all the coins that you would get. It's like, what is that? 11 plus 11 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21. 106 coins or something like that. I'm not sure. You wouldn't actually get all of these coins. So in reality, you get like 95 or so per grind. This guarantees 106 coins every single time. But this is the main drawback, is this now has RNG. I didn't get it in this clip, unfortunately, because this game is fun and likes to torment me. But there's a bug with the game where you cannot... Well, sorry, that's not the right phrase. There's a bug with this game where when you kick a box, what's meant to happen is on the first kick, you get 11 coins, then 10, that's a 0, and then 10. And the reason why this is 11 is because on the first kick, it increases the hit and run meter down here. And when the hit and run meter increases, you get +1 coin. But for some reason, and this has been prevalent for the entirety of Coin Grind, it just didn't matter till now because we never were guaranteed all the coins anyways, is that when you kick a box, occasionally, and by occasionally I mean like pretty much all the fucking time, but it's completely random, the hit and run meter won't increase, which means you get 10 plus 10. That's a terrible 10 plus 10. That's a 0 again. So, while it only seems like 1 coin, it doesn't seem like that much. If you were to have the worst RNG, which I seem to get quite frequently, you lose 6 coins per grind. We do 5,800 worth of grinds. Fuck, how many grinds? I think it's about 58 grinds. Let's just say 58 for the easy number. So you 6 times 58, which is actually, let's say 6 times 60 because it's easier. It's probably more accurate too. So 6 times 60, which is about 360 coins, which across a whole coin grind means that you have to do 4 additional grinds, so +4 grind, which equals a grind is about 15 seconds, so it's 40 seconds to a minute. 40, that's a 2 1 40 to 60. Fuck, this is terrible. Hang on a second. 40 to 60 seconds of time loss. So it's unfortunately made the worst part of the run even more bad, because before, coin grinding was like it was like skill based pretty much. Like it's kind of weird to say, but coin grinding was pretty heavy on the skill factor. But now you can, like, the strat is to do it in set to kill, and you try to kick all of these before the timer runs out for getting out of your car. So it still has a skill factor, but you can play perfectly for the entire thing, and you will just lose 60 seconds because it's pure luck. And that's basically why Hundo is like not as fun now, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But I think that's pretty much covers everything. That explains the glitch nice and well. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.